Although it is unknown to all but a few, the birth and destruction of this universe has been a continuous cycle, and over time that cycle has accelerated. Because of this acceleration, the fabric of universes is losing its cohesion. Reality has been shattered and rebuilt countless times. Therefore, creation is not only stagnant, it is under great threat. I am Metron. I am the guardian of knowledge, past and present, the archivist of ideas and timelines, the observer of this universe and others beyond it. I have seen a dark tomorrow on the horizon. A war between the two most powerful and evil beings in existence is about to erupt. And if I do not prevent this war from breaking out, once again, history will be shattered. But this time, reality will not be stable enough to survive it. Once every century, the orbits of Apocalypse and New Genesis align with the other planets. Earthquakes would tear worlds apart, and as the gravitational forces threatened to destroy both Apocalypse and New Genesis, the two worlds would go to war. Had they continued down that path, they could have destroyed everything I observe. I had to intervene to do what no one else could. First, I commanded the Mobius chair to take me to Apocalypse, where I spoke with its ruler, Darkseid. He looked at me, his eyes burning like the fiery pits of Apocalypse. Yet in the end, Darkseid accepted peace. It was then time to go to Highfather and make him the same proposal. One of his sons was hiding in the shadows and heard everything. Terrified, he ran. The son of Jack Fisher was cast into the slave pits. He suffered greatly, but it did not matter. As long as I prevented war, I could continue. Then, 10 years later, it happened for the first time. I was not prepared to witness the end. The mysterious being the others called the Anti-Monitor had risen, for reasons unknown to them. He had the power to consume entire universes, and for the first time, reality itself was under threat. I watched universes fall, and then I saw others emerge. In the end, sacrifices were made. Everything imploded, yet it was saved. The universes were reborn as one. It was fascinating to behold, a new birth of wondrous creations. And for a time, I observed reality free of problems, until another threat appeared and devoured history. Once again, time was shattered and rebuilt. Yet through a survivor of the original universe, the multiverse returned. Most recently, reality was reconstructed when Flash fought against his greatest enemy, causing a rupture in time. Existence was reborn once more, but it has yet to solidify. He is here now, on a parallel world once ruled by the crime syndicate, preparing to follow him and strike the Justice League's universe to consume it again. He is called the Anti-Monitor, though I know him by another name, Mobius. Metron and Mobius stand face to face. Mobius grows angry when called by that name. Metron tells him, "Then they call you the Monitor." But Mobius prefers not to be spoken to at all and attacks. Yet he knows that as long as Metron is in his chair, Mobius's antimatter cannot harm him. Mobius is the one who destroys universes that are later reborn, and he is planning to do it again. But Metron wants to stop him. He knows reality will not survive another crisis. Mobius tells him he will not destroy reality, but Metron knows he has already destroyed this world, consuming it with his power, opening rifts for others to exploit. The Anti-Monitor sees a convergence of timelines and exposed universes. Even Brainiac is seeking to acquire knowledge, but he will not find it. He does not know the truth. For Mobius, being a destroyer is torture. He suffers as he fulfills his sentence. Metron offers to help him, to save him, on the condition that he stop destroying. Mobius knows he lacks the power to end it, but he knows someone who does, because he longs to stop being a destroyer. The Anti-Monitor has found a way to do it. Metron begs him to stop, warning that if he continues down this path, Darkseid's wrath will fall upon him. Suddenly, someone strikes Metron from behind. The Anti-Monitor wants war with Darkseid. The death of Darkseid is the key to everything, and Metron will be the witness. The age of the new gods is about to end, and the age of the anti-gods will begin. It is Darkseid's daughter who struck Metron, demanding her father's death. We go back in time, many years ago. On Themyscira, Diana is born. She would later be known as Wonder Woman. On the same island, another Amazon, named Marina, is also pregnant. Her sisters tell her that they have been cursed by the gods, but Marina vows to protect her daughter. One of her sisters begins to collapse, overwhelmed by visions of the future. Upon hearing this, Penelope tries to kill the child, but Marina stops her. First, she throws one of the Amazons into the sea, and then she kills the other. And so Grail was born, the daughter of Darkseid. Elsewhere, someone recalls how his father gave him to Darkseid, and after managing to escape, he arrived on Earth where he was called Scott. Although nearly everyone knows him as Mr. Miracle, he believes that today Darkseid is the greatest threat. Rumors say he is gathering his armies, not only those of Apocalypse, but also the countless legions of worlds he has conquered. Scott is stunned by what he sees. He knows he cannot do this alone. He will need the Justice League. For now, they are investigating a murder. Flash and Batman deduce that those who were there were not human. Meanwhile, Superman is visiting Lex Luthor, who has Neutron in custody. Neutron is dying, and Lex is doing everything he can to save him. Scott, meanwhile, has found what he was seeking. He asks a mother box to copy battle files, everything connected to Marina Black. Suddenly, the mother box goes out of control. Someone appears behind him, and when Scott turns to see who it is, he finds himself face to face with Darkseid. Scott attacks, but cannot harm him. Darkseid tells him that just because he managed to escape does not mean he should call himself scot-free. For he is not free. He never was. He is still a damned slave. Darkseid then strikes him with his Omega beams, hitting him in the legs. Darkseid steps over him and crushes his face with one of his boots. Scott tells him he knows what he is searching for, though Darkseid could not care less. Scott manages to reach the mother box and begs it to take him away from this place. Darkseid then simply departs. Meanwhile, Cyborg informs his teammates that another woman named Marina Black has been murdered, and that there are still 44 more with the same name across the United States. He is sending an alert so they will all be protected. Everything is clear now. Someone from another world is trying to kill Marina Black. Flash is talking with Jessica Cruz when suddenly something starts happening to Barry. Someone begins to emerge from his body. She steps out, declaring that he is a doorway for her. Flash is left gravely wounded, a deep cut carved into his chest. We then see that the one who emerged from his body is Grail, the daughter of Darkseid. Upon seeing Batman, Grail tells him that he is the human among them, yet even so, he could still cause serious problems. Therefore, Batman will be the first she harms. She drives her blade into his shoulder, then into the lower part of his back. Cyborg is already running a facial scan to identify who she is, just as Grail prepares to finish Batman off. Before she can, Cyborg fires one of his blasts at her. Grail senses a mother box nearby and demands it be handed to her. Elsewhere, Scott Free has arrived on Earth and stands before Marina Black. He asks if she is the one Darkseid is seeking, but the mother box tells Scott no. This one here is human. A new arrival suddenly attacks Scott from behind. By her voice alone, Scott instantly knows it is Lashina, and she is accompanied by Kanto, Darkseid's favorite assassin. Back with Grail, she is now attacking Cyborg, dismantling him piece by piece, ripping the metal parts from his chest. Shazam strikes from behind, launching Grail into a row of cars, triggering an explosion. As Cyborg struggles to recover, Grail ambushes Shazam and stabs him with her blade. Before she can finish him off, Diana arrives in time to stop her. Diana immediately alerts Superman, telling him she doesn't know exactly who they're facing, but her lasso has no effect on Grail. Realizing Diana is speaking with Superman, Grail declares that she too is an Amazon, one carrying out the mission for which they were created. She unleashes her heat vision against Diana, who raises her bracelets to block the attack, only for them to shatter under the force. Meanwhile, Superman is still with Lex Luthor, preparing to change into a suit powered by kryptonite. Superman tells him that no matter what he wears, he is still a criminal. Lex lashes out, declaring that no one speaks to him that way in front of his sister. Shockingly, Lex is suddenly shot 3 times by none other than his own sister. Elsewhere on the planet, Hal and Jessica attempt to fight Grail. Their attacks prove ineffective, as Grail counters by injuring Hal and leaving him incapacitated before turning her attention to Jessica Cruz. She seizes Jessica, for Jessica is the one she has been seeking. Jessica's ring links her to another universe, and the dark power within it is exactly what Grail needs. She needs the shadows. Darkness calls. Grail is waiting for him. The Destroyer is here. The Anti-Monitor has arrived on Earth. Meanwhile, Superman demands to know from Lena Luthor why she acted as she did. Lex's sister produces a mother box. Lena commands it to take Superman and Lex to their doom. Elsewhere, Scott is locked in battle, ordering his mother box to steal the coordinates of his enemies so it can transport him there. Scott Free is teleported to an unknown place, where he comes face to face with Marina Black. She tells him she has spent decades planning a war to kill Darkseid. Now she asks Scott if he will join her. Meanwhile, Superman and Lex Luthor are transported to Apokolips. Darkseid receives word that Superman has arrived on his world. He orders the prisoners released, promising that whichever slave kills Superman will win his freedom. At the same time, Darkseid knows the Anti-Monitor is already on Earth, so he commands his armies to prepare for war. Back on Earth, Diana calls for every alert possible to evacuate the area. She charges toward Grail, but before she can reach her, the Anti-Monitor slams the ground, unleashing energy that blasts Diana back. At that moment, Metron arrives on Earth, taking the Justice League away to rescue them and prevent them from being slaughtered by the Anti-Monitor. Grail wants to pursue them, but the Anti-Monitor tells her to first bring her father before him. Grail answers that Darkseid is already approaching and his war will come. This, she declares, is what her mother promised. Elsewhere, Marina Black speaks with Scott, telling him she knew the Dark God was out there and that one day all would be his slaves. So she created a weapon. She sent her daughter across reality to find someone with the power to kill Darkseid. And after finding him, she brought the Monitor to Earth. Scott refuses the war, knowing millions will die. But to Marina, that is the inevitable cost of all wars. When Scott Free rejects her war, Marina strikes, stabbing him with her weapon. Scott then pleads with his mother box to take him to his friends. As he runs, it teleports him away. Meanwhile, Metron has brought the Justice League to safety. Cyborg asks where they are, and Metron tells him he has taken them to the Rock of Eternity, where they can speak in peace. Hal identifies the figure as Metron, warning the others that while he may appear to be on their side, he cannot be trusted. Metron insists that he only observes. He has seen the Justice League save the world many times, but this time, he warns, it will not be possible. Seeking further answers, Diana uses her lasso of truth. She asks how they can obtain the information to stop the Anti-Monitor. Bound by truth, Metron tells her she must remove him from the Mobius chair. Without hesitation, Diana pulls Metron from the chair. Metron pleads with them to stop, warning that the Mobius chair cannot be controlled. Before it escapes, Batman seizes it, becoming its new bearer. Sitting in the chair, he now hears the answers. Yet he questions whether these answers are truly real. Is all of this real? Batman asks the chair who killed his parents. The chair responds, Joe Chill. Batman then demands the Joker's true name. The answer shocks him. He cannot believe what the chair has told him. That's impossible, he mutters. Hal Jordan warns that Batman can barely interact with a power ring. Using the Mobius chair will shatter his mind. He cannot possibly withstand all that technology within his head. Diana asks Batman if he is alright. He answers her, Of course, Diana. Now I am a god. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.